gentlemen, boys and girls, this is Miss Brianne, and welcome back to our Let's Get Ready series. And this is the series for young elementary school students in grades preschool all the way up to 3rd grade. And we review skills such as print recognition, choosing just right books, phonemic awareness and phonics, vocabulary, scissor skills, handwriting, and all that fun stuff. Now this program here is geared towards our students who are in kindergarten and are looking to prepare for 1st grade and to acquire those skills needed to succeed in 1st grade, as well as those 1st grade students who just want a quick review of what they already learned in kindergarten. So we got a fun little plan. We're going to be reading simple, easy reader books today. And I have a fun little handwriting activity for you as well. So, with that being said, are we ready to begin? Alright, so in kindergarten you're going to start to learn to read. And usually when you're learning to read, you start with very simple books. Usually they only have a few words per page, just to show you how the print in the book goes, and as well as having words that are easy to sound out, that gets you into the hang of print recognition and reading. So usually it's written in very simple words that are very easy to pronounce. And it helps you learn your letter sounds as well. But the further along we go in our program, the more difficult the books will be. So I'm going to read to you today 2 simple easy reader books that were written by the same author, Dana Meachen Rau. So we're going to introduce our first book today. It is called Look Down Low. And it's about finding all those cool things that are on the ground. So, we ready to begin? Alright, here we go. So, Look Down Low. The author is Dana Meachen Rau. The author is the person who writes the words to the story. The illustrator is Bernard Adnet, and the illustrator is the person who draws the pictures in the story. Now, we had some reading advisors for this book, just to make sure the book is just right for you boys and girls. And they are Dr. Gail Saunders-Smith, who's a reading specialist, and then Dr. Linda D. Labbo from the Department of Reading Education from the College of Education at the University of Georgia. And then we have the publisher, which is that company or organization that puts the book all together and sends it to the bookstores to sell. And the publisher here is Compass Point Books. Alright, with that being said, are we ready to begin? Alright, here we go. Oh, and these simple easy reader books have words that rhyme, which makes it even more easier for you to pronounce certain words. So, we ready? Here we go. Down on the ground, things crawl around. So, when you start to read a book, you always read from top to bottom, left to right. So you start at the top, read the print all the way to the right, then move on to the next line and read. A wiggling worm. How about that? There's a worm on the ground. And think about the pattern here, boys and girls. A digging Mole. Oh, there's a mole digging a big hole so he can live under the ground. A mouse hiding in a hole. So we also got a mouse on the ground hiding, looking to catch his lunch. How about that, boys and girls? The mud is brown. Now, boys and girls, if you want to look for simple words, think about your letter sounds. The letter sound for I is I, and the letter sound for S is S. So put them together. I, S, I, S, I, S, is. Good job, boys and girls. And look at all those bugs floating around the mud. Cool, huh? How do I see things on the ground? Oh, how do you think the boy's finding everything on the ground? What is he using? Looks like it's a magnifying glass. And what a magnifying glass does is it takes things that are very tiny and makes them a bit bigger so you can see them. So let's see what else the boy finds. An orange flower with a tall stem. Now, sometimes also if you need help figuring out words, you could take a look at the pictures in the book and it helps give you clues as to what to say. Say you didn't know the word orange, but you know this color here is orange and you know this is a flower. So that picture would help you say those words. Right. A line of ants. There are lots of them. Again, you can use the pictures to help you figure out certain words. You know this is an ant, right? So it'd help you say the word ants right over here. How do I see things on the ground? And some of the sentences repeat. So if you hear it once, you may be able to repeat it again. Oh. I get down low and look around. So the boy goes on the ground, he uses his magnifying glass to look around, and that's when he sees all the cool bugs and insects and small animals. How cool is that? And a good feature about this book, the Compass Point Early Reader books, they have word lists at the end. So parents, if you want, you can practice some of these words with your children. The more they repeat the words and they see them and become familiar with them, the easier it is for them to read the words in a book. Anyway, isn't it fun to look at the ground using like binoculars or a magnifying glass and seeing all these cool insects and the tiny animals and the worms? Would that be something you would think about looking at, boys and girls? Well, it's a fun activity that you boys and girls try with your parents' permission, of course. But anyway, I certainly enjoyed this book. I hope you did as well, boys and girls. But now it is time to move on to the next story. Now I know it's a little too early to be reading this type of book, but I thought it was a cute book, parents and boys and girls. And this one's actually a little bit simpler to read, especially with it's going to be written in a larger print. It's not really based on a holiday, but it's more based on the fall. And I know we're not yet in the fall. That's going to happen in late September. But I thought it was a fun book to read. And this book is called Shoo, Crow, Shoo. And it's another Compass Point early reader book. Now, as I mentioned before, the author again is Dana Meachen Rau. The illustrator is Mary Galan Ross. And again, the reading advisors are Dr. Gail Saunders-Smith, who's a reading specialist, and Dr. Linda D. Labbo, who's from the Department of Reading Education from the College of Education at the University of Georgia. And the publisher, once again, is Compass Point Books. Alright, with that said, are we ready to begin? Alright, here we go. Old shirt. Now this type of book, parents, is what you should introduce your children to in the beginning, because it's only like 2 or 3 words per page, which makes it a lot easier. And I'll help you pronounce the word. Oh, it's got to say o, d, d, old, pants. So he found an old shirt and old pants. What are they going to do with those two pieces of clothes, huh, boys and girls? Well, let's see. Stuff them both with hay. So they're filling the shirt and the pants with hay. What do you think is going on, boys and girls? Can you take a guess as to what they're making? Well, think about it and then let's move on. Pumpkin head. Now again, you may not know how to say this word here, pumpkin, but you know this is a pumpkin, right, boys and girls? So the picture here would help you be able to pronounce this word. So if you need help figuring out a word, boys and girls, look at pictures if you need to. They're a great help. So they have a pumpkin. Draw a face. So it looks like they're drawing a face on the pumpkin. What do you think it's going to be? Well, let's see. Scare those crows away. Oh, so they built a scarecrow. There's a reason. Look at all those birds flying around. There's too many of them, huh? They'll eat all the plants. Not good. So the boy and the girl made a scarecrow to scare them all away. Do you think it will actually work? Well, let's find out. Hang him up. So I'll help you pronounce some words. So the sound for H is h, the sound for I is I, and the sound for M is m. So it m, it m, it m, it m, him, it m, him. And then we have up. The letter sound for U is and the letter sound for P is P. So, up, 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 up. Alright, good job, boys and girls. Hang him high. So they're really trying to scare those crows away. We have to tie his shoe. Now I'll help you sound out one more word. So again, the letter sound for H is the letter sound for I is I, and the letter sound for S is S. So it's his. Good job, boys and girls. Now our scarecrow is all done. So the scarecrow is ready to go. Do you think he'll actually scare the crows away? Well, let's find out. Go now! Shoo, crow, shoo! Doesn't look like it's working, boys and girls. Is it? Again, and that is the end of the story. Again, they have a list of words that parents, you can practice with your children. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed those 2 books. I certainly enjoyed reading them to you. But what do you say? Do you want to move on to our activity? All right. So, you may have started a little bit of handwriting in preschool, but now that you're in kindergarten, we're going to start practicing handwriting a little bit more. And we're going to have a fun way of practicing our handwriting. And it'll be fun for you, it's going to be good for you, boys and girls, because you can practice your handwriting on something else besides pencil and paper. Because you're probably getting sick and tired of practicing your letters on just pencil and paper, right, boys and girls? You want to have a little more fun practicing, right? And parents, you'll love this because not only is it allowing your child to get the fine motor skills they need to practice their handwriting, but this activity also provides a sensory input where they can see different colors as they're writing, as well as get a feel of the different texture out there that's in the activity. But you're going to be practicing your letters, boys and girls, on rainbow salt trays. Does that sound like fun? Alright, before I begin, I just want to let you know this activity was from Janice Davis of the website Learning for Kids. So if you're interested in this activity as well as other similar activities, please click on the web link in the video description. Alright now, so I'm going to show you how to create the tray. So give me 2 seconds while I zoom in on my workstation. Just bear with me, boys and girls. Sorry about that. There we go. Alright. So, when you register for this program, boys and girls, you should have received a craft kit with 6 different colors of construction paper. How cool is that? Now, in addition to this construction paper, you need the following items. You need some paintbrush or another type of instrument to practice with, a tray, any type of tray, and table salt. So, with that being said, let me show you. Oh, and if you need to if you want, parents, Scotch tape, but that's not really necessary. But if you can have it if you prefer, or get it if you prefer. So you want to see how to put together the tray? All right, so here's how it works. What you're going to do is you're going to take your tray and you are going to arrange the paper. Hold on. And I'm just going to grab some scissors because Alright, sorry about that. I thought this was cut to size. But you can also have scissors if this same thing happens to you. So arrange it so it fits the tray. And you can use scissors to cut out some excess if you like. Or you may have a tray big enough for the whole paper to fit. But as long as it fits, you're all good. And you also got to make sure all the colors are showing. So I'm just slowly arranging my rainbow tray the paper on the tray right now. All right. So it's got to fit the entire tray, and it has to, and you got to make sure all the colors are showing. So I'm just going to keep arranging it. There we go. And you can arrange it however you like, as long as all the colors are showing. All right. So we're almost getting there, boys and girls. We're almost done. Just 2 more to go. Give me 2 seconds. All right, almost there. There we go. So I just arranged all the paper so that it fits the tray and that all the colors are showing. And if you want, parents, you can tape all this in place to keep it from moving around too much as your child is drawing. I'm not going to show that because I don't have tape on me right now, but it should be okay for all intents and purposes. But once you have your tray lined up with the paper, you're going to take your table salt. Hold on 1 second. There we go. And then you're going to cover the tray in salt. Now here's a lesson I learned, everybody. Do not use too much salt to cover the tray. I did that last time, and I had a lot of difficulty getting the colors to show when I was writing. So make sure you have just enough salt so that the colors are not really all that visible, but don't put too much on. Spread it around. So now we have the tray covered in salt. So last but not least, that's when you take your paintbrush and you start drawing. You just gradually, and you can shake it to remove the salt. But look how cool is that. So, there's the drawing of the letter A. Then we have B. And just give it a shake to put the salt back. And look, there's a letter D. How cool is that? And you can even draw a lowercase g right over here. Don't know if you can really see that. Put a little bit more salt in there. And I think it is best to tape it in place, parents, because the salt seems to be slipping through the papers. But what you can do, parents, is let your child practice whatever letters they want, or if you wanted to, you could draw a letter and then your child can repeat the letter. And depending on their skill, you could ask which letter it is. For example, that's a lowercase letter A. And we got an H right here. Isn't that cool? Maybe even a letter K. But it's fun. It gives that great textural element, and plus they can see different colors as they're writing, which makes it a very fun way to practice. And you can repeat this as many times as you and your child like. But in any event, I certainly hope you enjoyed this activity. I enjoyed showing it to you, boys and girls. And just so you know, in your kits, there's also a couple of handwriting worksheets that you can practice at your own leisure. But in any event, please feel free to join us next month for another exciting activity and some more books. But until then, this is Miss Brianne saying take good care of yourselves. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon.